It was only you who ever doubted your power. And that is all of us. Because we can't know what that power is because we don't know who we are. Meaning that we're always in the process of becoming more. We're always in the process of evolving. And that is something that occurs in our consciousness. And so every day it's a new decision. Am I going to accept myself today? Am I going to discover the new parts of me that have emerged because I have lived? And I can say that because that's what I've been doing my entire life. And today the message is we wanted you to evolve. And that's you and our world, because that's what Wilhelm has given us. And it was really uncomfortable at times saying that Wilhelm has given us the plan that will change your life in the world. But I know that that's true because you were born with something you were meant to do, and the only reason that you haven't done it is you just didn't know what it was, you couldn't find it, or you didn't believe yourself, or you're still holding on to something that was old that's told you you couldn't become the person you wanted to be. That's the same thing for us individually, and it's the same thing for our world collectively. We don't know what that's going to turn out. We don't know how it's going to turn out, but I can tell you today that Wilhelm has given us the plan that can change your life, change our world, and cause you to know who you are and to heal, because that's what it did for me. We can only give to others what we have experienced and what we know. And to the point where it's no longer theoretical, because you hear about certain ideas and beliefs about development, about ascension, about personal development, about self actualization. Well, I wrote it all out and then I lived it as well, so that's why I know that it worked. And I had trouble as well accepting who I was, which is why I could never charge enough money for the work that I had done. And now I'm going to be 75 on November 2nd, and I realize, oh, wait a minute, I have the thing that is so incredibly valuable. It's the most valuable thing that anyone could want, but I wasn't seeing it. That's the same thing for you. We can't see our value until we've done it, until we've lived it. Well, I've lived it now. And so it was challenging to say to you, you no longer have to suffer or struggle because the answers are here. And they are. The answers are within you. And what I did was develop a way for you to find them. And then I know that they work because they caused me to heal, and they would do the same for anyone who uses them. There's no difference. And I can say that the only difficulties we have are not being willing to change our minds, to believe something is possible, and then to attempt to do it. And those are old ideas that we have which have been programmed into us, and that's why we keep living in the same way. And so what happened for me is that I discovered that Wilhelm has given us a new way to understand our world, a new way to understand our universe and our lives and who we are, because everything is energy and we're all connected that way. And all the messages that Wilhelm had given me were organized. I had no way of knowing that because I was just being the receiver, meaning I was sitting down and receiving things. And what you will notice is that there are cycles. There are cycles that we live in our lives and in our world. All the events that are occurring are part of a cycle, energetic shift that's moving through, and you're being moved yourself to go to the next level of who you're meant to become. That's what we each are doing. Mine was to bring in a work that could have you live your best life and eventually change our world. And that was a dream that I had when I was a child. I didn't think it was going to happen, but now it has. Because I know that anyone who's lost or feeling uncomfortable and insecure or not knowing who they could become, this work will have them change. And I know it does that because I tested it and I only did it with a small portion. I've been doing this for 36 years. It's changed and healed everything in my life. So I know it does it for everyone else. But the reason that it works is because it's backed by science. It uses neuroscience. It uses cognitive behavior training. It touched into the quantum field. That's why the messages that I could receive in 2008 are relevant today, because Wilhelm gave me the ability to access information in a different way. And that is also why it might have been challenging for you to accept what this work was. It's just as it was for me. But I put together a document that explains it in a much better way than I could because I lived it. I couldn't see it, just like you can't see who you are fully. Doesn't matter who you are, whatever you're going to do, that next thing, it's sometimes challenging because, again, it's this an intangible place and it's in your consciousness. How much can you believe? How much can you decide to trust yourself? And that's what this document will show you, and that's what I've done, and that's why it turned into an revolutionary piece of work. And I had to talk about it today because I'm going to be doing classes on it in different ways. I still have my program. That's what I'm finishing because that is the thing that changes anyone's life. That's what I'm finishing. But also I want to do more live things and work with people personally. So I'm doing more um, live personal channeling because that's really it turned out to be wonderful. I just had a meeting with someone today, a big celebrity person, another trainer, coach to the stars, basically trainer to the stars, but he found Wilhelm's work to be so insightful that he's using it in his work as well. That's what came about. And so I want you to see it because there's no reason for us not to have the lives that we could have now. And here it is, the Wilhelm transmissions, a 36-year documentation of human evolution. Because what we discover as humans, we all evolve the same way, and it is in our consciousness. It just gets formed in different ways depending on where we lived, where we came from, and how we were programmed. That's all that it is. And this lays it out why it works. For 36 years, Roger Burnley has maintained an extraordinary discipline, receiving and transcribing daily messages from an entity calling itself Wilhelm. What began as automatic writing in 1989 has evolved into a comprehensive philosophical system that appears to be documenting humanity's consciousness evolution in real time. And then it goes through the phases because we all evolve in ourselves individually and then again collectively in the same way. And there are phases. I was able to access those phases because Wilhelm gave us this ability to see things from a completely different perspective. And the breakthrough technology. What makes Roger's work revolutionary isn't just the messages, it's the method he's developed for applying them. He calls it belief archaeology. Through that, though that understates its profundity. What happens is you start to uncover who you are. I was showing this to one of the members of my work the other day, who's in the program, who has done this, and she's done the first 31 days, and she says, this is exactly what happens. And she's in a different place now in her life because she's seeing that she's utilizing this architecture to continue to develop who she is meant to become, and that's what we're all doing. Anyway, the revelation, perhaps most remarkably, Roger himself has been the demonstration. His journey from resistance to acceptance, from channel to teacher, from self-doubt to recognizing he's documented an advancement in human potential. And that is what I had to recognize. And I'll tell you, it was challenging because I thought, why, how could it have been me? And that was the question that I asked myself so often, but now I know that it is, and now you can see it as well. And that's when I'm finishing. I'm inviting anyone to come into this work because you will do the same thing. You will create something so brilliant from what you will learn and discover about yourself that you'll help change this world. That's what we're all meant to do. Enjoy this article that I created for you because now it's time for all of us to take the next step. That's what I'm doing, and that's why I'm finishing this work and working with people in my private coaching. It's fun when you discover who you are and you can own it, and that's what I want to see for every single soul. See you soon.